The question of treating relapse refractory advanced multiple myeloma patient is really a cutting edge and obviously very difficult question, because more and more these days we are having patients who have received and progressed, unfortunately, after proteasome inhibitors, bortezomib, carfilzomib, after IMiDs, lenalidomide, pomalidomide, but also after anti-CD38 monoclonal antibodies like daratumumab or cetuximab. So for these patients, the treatment options historically would have been very difficult, but hopefully these days I think there is a lot of hope, because we have the advent of some really exciting, but also I would say amazing novel agents, namely immune therapies like bispecific antibodies or T-cell engagers, but also cellular therapies like CAR T-cells. We should not forget that we have also small molecules like selinexor, an XPO1 inhibitor. We do have peptide conjugates like melflufen, and last but not least, we do have antibody drug conjugates like belantamab. So you can see there is a wide variety of options. Obviously, these options were not compared head to head. However, one can clearly state that when it comes to CAR T cells, we do have two constructs which are already approved, namely ide-cel and cilta-cel. And these CAR T cells are proving to be highly effective with an excellent safety profile. Obviously, now people are trying to bring them into earlier lines of therapy thanks to the randomized trials, namely KarMMa-3, but also CARTITUDE-4. We know very well that these CAR T cells can challenge the early use of other classical treatments for relapse. When it comes to bispecific antibodies, they are also extremely attractive because they are off the shelf in contrast to CAR T cells, so autologous CAR T cells. There's no waiting time. And today we have half a dozen of bispecific antibodies T-cell engagers under development. Two of them are highly advanced. Teclistamab is already approved, and elranatamab is quite widely available on a compassionate use program. And for instance, what we can glean from the current results about these bispecific antibodies is that they can achieve more than 60 or 65% response rate in these heavily pre-treated advanced relapse refractory myeloma patients. The safety profile when it comes to CRS and neurotoxicity is very good, I would say. Obviously, one word of caution is about the risk of opportunistic infections. But I think with good prevention measures, prophylaxis, but also close monitoring of these patients, we can really circumvent the problem of opportunistic infections. So you can appreciate now for these patients, we really have several options, and I think this is definitely a great news for the patient, and I'm very optimistic for the near future.